Well, hello everybody. It's my pleasure to be here today to talk to you about the power of AM/PM essentials and what makes the YES system so important as part of the Juness company and part of the Juness science. So today, we're all looking at how do we stay healthy, especially in times of stress and where our immune system needs to be optimal at all times. Now, AM/PM is a product that steps and light years beyond what just vitamins and minerals originally were designed to do. And this was basically designed around my original stem cell research in 2014, where we realized that this whole new science of epigenetics actually has the ability to help our cells work more optimally, but also be able to turn on and off specific genes that are involved in the aging process, involved in the immune system, involved in multiple other components of who we are as human beings as we age. The YES system is completely unique to Juness, and frankly, no other company in our industry has put the science and thought together as well as Juness. So what makes the YES system unique is the following. The products in the YES system have been designed to work from the inside out, that is the most inner aspect of our cells, to the outer aspect of our body, our skin, and from the outside to the inner aspect of our body again. The second tenet that makes up the YES system is the products designed and used in the YES system are experiential. That means that when you take one of the products, you either see or feel the difference. And thirdly, the concept of synergy. So when we design new products, we don't just design products that are designed to work on their own independently, but we create products that work in synergy with the existing products so that the experiential impact is even greater. And this is what has made Juness so successful over the past 8 years, 9 years. Now, the YES system can be viewed as a pyramid. So AM/PM Essentials is really a foundation product for the YES system. And why is that? So basically, the human body is made up of 100 trillion cells, and in each one of those cells is 6 feet of DNA, 30,000 genes, but different genes are being turned on and off through different periods of our life. Now, the AM/PM Essentials has been designed to do something that is completely unique. A, to help the cells of our body work more efficiently at their more optimal potential, and B, to also help maintain function of stem cells, which we're going to get into quite a bit in just a minute or two. So by taking AM/PM Essentials, we're actually able to help, and we have the potential to help our body cells and our stem cells work at a higher, more efficient level. And this allows the other products of the YES system to even be more effective once we've done that as a baseline. So when we look at the human body, as I said, we have 100 trillion cells that make up a body. And in my previous books and in my previous research, my focus was, if we know how to actually make one cell age more efficiently, function more efficiently, we can do that for 100 trillion cells. And the same concepts that we put into AM/PM Essentials stands and works in both our body cells or our somatic cells and our adult stem cells as well. So our body cells basically are the cells that we see and we feel and we look at in the mirror every day. Our stem cells are things we don't see. Now, the stem cells are really our regenerative potential, and as we age, we unfortunately lose both the function and the number of those stem cells. And eventually, as that number of stem cells declines and our quality or function of those cells decline, so does our health and so does our well-being. So today, one of the focuses I want you to keep in mind is that AM/PM Essentials has been designed to help both of these cells and groups of cells work more efficiently and at a higher quality. So why are stem cells important? 10 years ago, we didn't even know the concept of stem cells. We didn't even know what they were. But today, all the science in wellness, nutrition, regenerative medicine, all has to do with focusing on stem cells. And why they're so important? Well, stem cells that we have in our body can actually become any one of the 220 different cells that our body needs, whether it's brain cells, lung cells, liver cells, immune cells, heart, kidney, or all types of cells, including skin cells, all originate from our sources of stem cells. So AMPM, again, when I was designing this product a number of years ago, the focus was on how can we restore not just how our body feels or our general cells work, which are what vitamins and minerals used to do, okay, but how could we create a product that was evolutionarily beyond just what vitamins and minerals would do? And today, AMPM has been designed and is present to help both groups of our regenerative potential, our stem cells, and our body cells work more optimally. If we take a look at how we age, for instance, when we're young, okay, we are using up a number of our stem cells that we're born with to become an adolescent and eventually to become a mature adult. And as mature adults, we experience our optimal health and our optimal function. Now, what happens at about, believe it or not, the late 20s, early 30s, is we start to lose function to our stem cells and body cells. And most of this is due to the damage to our DNA. And we're going to start referring to our DNA as really our genetic software, because that's a whole new way we look at this in a minute. So as we age and we lose our stem cells, we start to see the signs of lack of function, loss of muscle mass, our skin starts to wrinkle, but we also start to accumulate a lot of damaged cells. And as that number of damaged cells continues to increase, we start to age rapidly, and our body functions, our organ functions start to decline as well, and we lose that quality of health. So one of the goals behind AMPM was to help maintain stem cell function and body function even a little bit longer, for a time longer, so we can experience a increased, if you will, what we call health span, or a time of optimal health and function. So today, as I said, we're starting to look at DNA as different, as in a different very concept. So DNA today is being viewed as more like a computer program, but far, far more advanced than any software we've ever created. And this is not my comment, this is Mr. Bill Gates' comment. Today we have computers that run on human DNA. And what's the difference between a human DNA computer and a regular computer? Well, regular computers, you input a problem and it gives you the solution, but it's based on zeros and ones, okay? In a DNA computer, we can input one problem, but the computer will give us not one solution, but 4 or 5 solutions, maybe 6 solutions, 6 options. Now, the average human cell has to process, this is amazing, has to process almost 100,000 inputs an hour, okay, so that you understand how complicated and how efficient the DNA in each one of our cells is, and it can actually do that. So we're now looking at our DNA as a computer software program. Now, we all know what happens if we end up with a software problem, a virus inside our computer or laptop or a phone, it crashes. Well, our DNA software begins to malfunction with aging, and it crashes as well. The difference is we suffer poor health and rapid aging when that happens. A lot of this is based on DNA damage, a lot of this is based on environmental exposure, and a lot of it's based on poor lifestyle habits. But inside each one of those 100 trillion cells and, if you will, 6 feet of DNA, we have 2 main software programs, genetic software programs, if you will. One, a day and night program that helps regulate our function in the mornings and our functions in the evening, and a basic cell function program that is to help maintain the general activity and efficiency of our body cells. Now, this whole new concept of epigenetics is an amazing new thing, because this happens naturally inside our bodies to a positive way if we exercise, and to a negative way if we just sit on the couch and we eat poor quality food. Now, AMPM ingredients have been chosen based on the latest science that allows us to pick ingredients that will actually turn down the genes that become active as we age. These are the genes for instance, inflammation and poor DNA repair, and turn back up the genes that are involved when we're youthful, which has to do with creating more ATP, more energy, better DNA repair, less DNA damage, less inflammation, to name a few. As we have now started to learn what genes are active and what ingredients can actually turn up or down the activity of genes, we have now gotten to the point where we can actually start to make a major difference in how our cells age and our stem cells age and our body ages. And that's what makes AMPM Essentials so unique. So let's take a look at what happens. So if I were to take 2 of my AMPMs in the morning, I'd swallow those. And what would happen is they'd go down my esophagus into my stomach. The tablets would start to open up. And as I go into my small intestine, the ingredients, all of those 70-plus ingredients, actually get absorbed into the bloodstream and travel through my body. Now, as they go through my body and those little ingredients leave one of the blood vessels, they'll hit the surface of a cell. And it will actually cause a signal on the surface of that cell to go inside that particular cell. So what happens here is our DNA is located inside the cell. And just like I have my suit covering my shirt and my arm, when that signal goes inside the cell, the covering of the DNA moves up and exposes the gene, just like as if you pull your sleeve up your arm. Now, once that happens, okay, there's another enzyme. Let me go back. There's another enzyme that literally works its way down the DNA and creates a protein, okay, which is made from the copy of the information on that DNA. Now, that protein can turn into a hormone, can turn into a building block for a muscle, a bone, etc. But that's how simple this works. Specific compounds and ingredients will activate different portions of your DNA to create the proteins that they've been designed to initiate. So DNA is the source code, but RNA, the environment really dictates what genes are active, okay? So if we exercise and we have a great diet and we're stress-free, more ideal proteins are formed and our tissues, our bodies, and our cells work more optimally. But again, what makes AMPM Essentials so unique is basically it's like an upgrade for your genetic software. We're looking at a product that is a step, not just a step beyond vitamins and minerals, but much more. It's an evolutionary step. And I bet the best way I can explain this to you is if we took a caveman of thousands of years ago and put him next to a modern man today, that's a good analogy about how far we've come from just general vitamins to what AMPM Essentials is made of and the impact it has on our bodies. So let's take a look. Well, we did a study with over 300 people, and we asked them, gee, how did you feel? And we scored them with a special scoring system that's used for medical evaluation of different products and even pharmaceuticals. And we asked them, how many of you improved at 8 weeks your energy level? And that was about 60%. How many improved in sleep in 8 weeks? And that was about 70%. And what we found, mental focus, the feeling of the getting sick less often, and even the feeling of stress improved dramatically in 8 weeks. What really surprised us, at 12 weeks, what we noted, that people continued to improve. So at 12 weeks, what happened was there was virtually 80+% of people who were sleeping better. And we're going to talk about the importance of sleep real briefly. Energy, there was about 65% of people said they had more energy. Okay, people felt less stressed, and that was, again, more than 50% of people. So in general, what we're starting to see is the impact of the ingredients in AMPM Essentials really has an effect on not just the satisfaction of knowing you got your basic vitamins and minerals, but actually an experiential impact and on components of your daily life that make a difference in your health. So the ingredients in AM Essentials have basically been focused on how to enhance your energy and your memory and mental focus. And these things basically, these ingredients basically are able to accomplish this by changing, again, certain genes that are turned on and off in the early part of the day. Things that make more ATP, things that make those little energy factories inside our cells called mitochondria more efficient. Things that help with regulating hormonal levels, like decreasing cortisol levels, which are the stress hormones, which allow you to focus better. Things that help improve the transmitters in your brain so you're more alert and focused and learn more efficiently. Now, in the PM formula, there are some ingredients that are the same, but more importantly, a group of ingredients that are very, very different. And these happen to do with things to help put you to sleep, not only sleep quicker, but longer and deeper types of sleep. Now, the types of sleep are what we found out are absolutely essential for immune function and for cellular repair. And right now, there's a lot of research going on showing us that most of cell repair, DNA repair, things that help your brain stay healthy occur at night when you're asleep. Okay, so AM/PM Essentials has been designed basically to upgrade that the basic cell functioning software or genetic software we have in each one of those 100 trillion cells, but also help upregulate a number of other key conditions in the body, including how we function with memory and energy in the morning, and with repair and sleep in the evening. So when we look at 2 tablets in the morning, 2 tablets in the evening as the recommended dosage for people who are 18 and over, I've gotten many questions where people say to me, well, Dr. G, I weigh 250 pounds. How much should I be taking? Well, frankly, anybody who's over 180, 190 U.S. pounds could be taking 3 a.m.s and 3 p.m.s. Somebody who's 90 pounds or below 100 pounds probably will do well on 1 a.m. and 1 p.m. But here's the real interesting component. AM/PM is a product that you can personalize. And I have many, for instance, I'll tell you what my regimen is. I take 2 a.m.s in the morning. I take 1 a.m. at lunchtime, which helps to keep me focused and more energetic till the late afternoon. And then I take 2 p.m.s at night. And sometimes if I'm traveling, it'll be 3. So that's my personalized use. Now, I have plenty of questions and plenty of distributors that say to me, Dr. G, when I travel, I need 4 p.m.s at night, the first night or 2 I travel, and it makes a world of difference. Well, frankly, that works for a lot of people. So my suggestion is you start with 2 a.m.s and 2 p.m.s if you're an average weight person. But experiment, see what gives you the best impact and allows you to be the most efficient and productive throughout the day. A little side note, today, and as we age, we all need more protein. And the less, we want to keep our calories down, but our proteins up. So my morning regimen is mid-morning by around 10:30, 11, I take Zen protein shake. And again, mid-afternoon, I take another one. So I'm getting an extra 50 grams of protein by those 2 shakes along with my meals. And what does that come down to? I can maintain my muscle mass. I can decrease my body fat. And I can keep my immune system stronger. So DNA is all about keeping our cells healthy. So if DNA is the blueprint and epigenetics controls the code, that is epigenetics. What does that mean? That means it's not DNA. It means the environment that DNA is placed in is what dictates how that DNA works. And we're going to talk a little bit about that again in a minute. So AM Essentials has been designed with specific natural plant extracts, herbal extracts, probiotics, prebiotics, digestive enzymes to help with energy and focus after we wake up. PM Essentials has been designed to help put you to sleep, okay, quicker, longer, and deeper. Now, there's really 2 types of sleep, and we go through sleep cycles, maybe 6 or 7 cycles a night. Deep sleep usually occurs in the early part of the evening, and that's when the memories and the information we've processed throughout the day moves from the short-term memory to our long-term memory so we can remember weeks and years ago. Now, REM sleep, which occurs a little bit much closer to when we're waking up and in the mid-portion of the night, is about processing new information so we can remember that into the temporary memory banks before it gets transferred. So we need to have both deep sleep and REM sleep in order for us to really have an optimal state of health. AM/PM comes in both tablet form and powder form. And the basic ingredients and the key ingredients to really impact health are the same in each one. So to quickly review, we've been through the onset of the importance of vitamins and minerals. Where did that word come from? Vital, amines. In the early 30s, with research done at Cornell University, the doctors started to realize the body needs certain types of vitamins and minerals to function at least at a normal level. Now, AM/PM contains all the basic vitamins and minerals you need for a day. But that's only about 20% of the total ingredients. Okay, the other 80% are all these natural compounds that have been chosen specifically to regulate those genes involved in cellular aging. So the past, if you see here on the past, this is what you would have to take in capsules to equal 4 tablets, 2 in the morning, 2 in the evening, if you bought everything independently. So this is the future of cellular nutrition and cellular health, where most of the world is still sitting here. So let's talk once more about the importance of the environment. We said one of the key things that distinguish AMPM from all the other products on the market is the focus on epigenetics. That is, what are the things that actually make the genetic code inside our cells turn on in the right direction and turn off in the direction that occurs as we age. And so those things basically come down to, do you exercise, even moderately every day? Do you watch your diet and cut your carbohydrates, fried foods down? Do you use more natural foods? Carbohydrates, proteins, and fats need to be balanced, okay? Is your stress level high? You're going to age quicker. Are you taking supplements? If you're not, you will age quicker because those cells in your body don't have the ingredients to help turn on the right genes to keep both your stem cells and your body cells healthy. So we inherit genetic tendencies. So maybe 30% at most of our future health and longevity is based on our genes. 70% has to do with what you choose in your life. You are in charge of your quality of health. So let me make a comment. You know, information is really important. And at UNES, we stress to educate you and to have you understand at least the basics of what each one of our products in the YES system are doing. Now, why is that important? It's important because information changes your thoughts. Thoughts change your actions. Actions change your genes. It all starts with information and the ability to accept that what UNES brings you is the latest information on the cellular aging process with products that really have been tested and you can see and feel the difference in. So a couple other key factors that really help with AMPM that will really make a big difference in how your cells function and how well you age. Sleep is a minimum of 7 hours a day. The new research shows if we're not getting 7 hours a day, our immune function is down. We're predisposed to diabetes, heart attack, stroke, and even depression and memory loss. Pre and probiotics make up the core component of our small intestine, which is where all our immune system starts. Vitamins, minerals, particularly C, B6, E, and D, are essential for a strong immune system. The more stem cell function and number, the more stem cells we have in our circulation, the greater the number, the stronger our immune function is. And optimal body composition has to do with the right exercise to keep our body fat down and decrease inflammation. So, what really proof do we have that maybe AMPM is really doing something at that level? We did a study a little over a year ago on a special group of cells from animals that are used for the same study for pharmaceuticals and nutraceuticals. And what we did is we fed them one group of these cells AM and another group of these cells PM in their dishes. And the amazing impact was PM documented for the first time that the genes that are involved in stem cell function were increased. That is the genes you'll see here in both called NANOG and ECAT. Those are the genes that are involved in increasing stem cell number and function and differentiation. AM amazingly turned on the genes, these are the SIRT1 genes, involved in calorie restriction and longevity. So for the first time, we got some initial proof that AMPM may actually be doing what we designed it to do. And this is a major, major step forward in the whole world of cellular health and nutrition. So bottom line is when we're looking at the YES system, AMPM Essentials is something to help potentially enhance and improve the quality and function of both your body cells and stem cells. So today, we're all kind of stuck with a situation where our immune systems are at stress. We're in an environment which is something we're not used to, which creates more stress. And the secret here are what can we do to naturally, with what natural products can we do and use to help boost our immune function? So let's take a look at this. AMPM Essentials supplies both prebiotics, probiotics, all your vitamins and minerals, the key vitamins and minerals involved in maintaining an strong immune function. Reserve. Okay, Reserve supplies the key antioxidants and a compound called resveratrol, which actually helps boost immune function as well. Zen Protein, Zen Prime. Zen Protein is essential because without protein, additional protein, especially in today's environment, we can't make immunoglobulins, which are one of the key bases of our immune function. That all happens inside our small intestine. Zen Prime, again, supplies prebiotics, probiotics, just like AM and PM does. But what else? Vita Blue is one of the few products on the market that has been clinically shown to increase both stem cell numbers, all three types of stem cells. And that's essential, again, for an optimal immune function. So we already have at Jeunesse this grouping of products that can make a tremendous difference in keeping us naturally healthy and strong and helping our immune system to function at its optimal. So today we talked about our DNA as genetic software, and it's a real interesting and very accurate analogy today. But if we are all designed on genetic software, who is a programmer? And I get that question all the time. So basically, the programmer is me. And the whole thing here is that we are in charge of our present health and future health. And now that we know our activity, our thoughts, our diet, our exercise, and most importantly, the key supplements that we don't get from today's 21st century food supply can be obtained in a system that is really designed to work at the cutting edge of cellular aging and cellular health, we are the ones in charge. And Jeunesse, and the science behind Jeunesse, is always designed to look for all the latest information to help you accomplish that. So how important are stem cells now and in the future? Well, let's take a look at this. Today, in my clinic and in other clinics, but mainly in our clinic outside the U.S. and inside the U.S., we can collect your own stem cells, and we can then give them back to you as you age so that you don't lose a number of those stem cells. Today, stem cells are being used to create new lungs, new kidneys, new bladders, and actually new parts of the body. The organ transplant business in the next decade will probably disappear, and you can regrow your own tissues, God forbid, if you need to have something like this done. But keep in mind one thing. If you haven't kept your stem cells and body cells healthy, the quality of those cells won't be as ideal as they could be if you've taken care of yourself at both the cellular and genetic levels. So the foundation of the YES system, the Youth Enhancement System, is AMPM, where we start to help enhance both our body cells and our stem cells, activating the right groups of genes that we have now started to see can be impacted and positively affected by the ingredients in AMPM. So in closing, I'd just like to say one thing. I've spent the last 8 years of my life with Jeunesse, and the most rewarding thing is I've actually heard thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of people say, Dr. G, thank you, thank Jeunesse for really changing my life, improving the quality of my life. And I can go on and on about different things people have told me. But at Jeunesse, our goal, every one of the doctors on the Medical Advisory Board, their focus is to bring you the latest science that's involved in cellular aging, whether it's better skin, whether it's an improved, for instance, memory, whether it's improved energy. And our real focus and our tagline really is the best way to predict your future health is to create it here with Jeunesse. Thank you very much.